Hi, I'm Bruce Collings, and today I would like to talk about and demonstrate split tones. Over the years, I've worked with many composers, and many of them expressed a wish to have a video like this where they can actually see and hear how split tones work. So this video is mainly for composers, but it might be of help to trombone players too who are just starting out, learning split tones, and sometimes just seeing and hearing how it's done can be a great help to them. So let's get started. Split tone is actually any two harmonics. You can play both notes. So the easiest one would be the I would call it the third overtone to the second overtone, which would be in this case the F to B flat on the trombone. Those two notes. So if I play a split tone between those two notes, this is what comes out. Okay, so we don't really have the B flat on the bottom. It's more like a B. So we have kind of a tritone kind of soundy thing. I know it's much more complex. I think there's a lot more happening than just these two notes. But pretty much, generally speaking, the upper note always stays the same, and the lower note raises around a half a tone throughout everything. So my first, through this overtone, the 3-2 overtone would be. And the sixth position, of course, I can play in with the F valve, and I can go lower then. So you can see the lower I go, the less force, the less they get weaker and weaker. That's something to take into consideration. Okay, so then the next step up would be the 4-3, which would be my B flat F. And there, the thing is this: the lower tone is not an F; it's more like F sharp. So we should get kind of major thirds now. Here I'm at my F again with a major third, and the first F was a tritone. You can see there's a different harmonic thing there. The next one would be the 5-4, which is a major third, and we're going to get a minor third here now. So you can see the higher I go, the more difficult they get, and the more unreliable they become. So this is kind of like we're getting to the end here. I just got to this A. I can also play the A in second, and I can go farther in second with my valve. And here we are at the F again. So I have this F on the first one, the tritone, the major third, and a minor third. So three different things here. So there's many possibilities where the notes overlap. So now we're coming to the 6-5, and this one's really difficult to play. It's probably kind of like the end, but I'll try it. It's a minor third, but we're going to get more like a major second or so. It's not working. You can see it's very, very unreliable. It is possible, but we're getting into the realm now where they kind of stop. Last year I did actually see a piece where they wrote an F, the composer wrote an F sharp E flat, these two as a split tone, which is possible. There it is, but you can see it's almost like a hit or miss type thing. In the rehearsal, as I was actually doing it, and I chickened out in the concert because I just thought, no, because if it doesn't work, it sounds like a train wreck, and it just doesn't. So we're getting really up there. Be very careful with them. Okay. Of course, we can use any type of a mute with us. Any of the split tones, all of them work well, especially wah-wah can be very nice. Or the plunger also. Whatever, kind of modulate the sound. Okay, so far as the trombone, yeah, I forgot one. The really nice one is the 2-1 from the B flat octave. And here, things change quite dramatically. We don't, normally the upper note stays the same, and the bottom note raises up. Here, the upper note really goes down, and we get kind of around an F sharp. These are the notes we get, but we want to play. But what happens is the upper note goes down to an F sharp for some reason. So we're kind of getting a... Now it kind of fizzles out for me around there, but they're not very strong or powerful. They can only be really used in a very soft environment. Okay, what happens when we dig? That was a cylindrical instrument. They all pretty much like this. If we take a conical instrument like a euphonium, things change a bit. And if I take my normal F B flat, sounds a little bit more consonant than that tritone we had on the trombone. I'm not sure exactly where it is. It's hard for me to hear it, but is it that, or harder for me to hear? But and then the next one. That does sound like it's a major third, so it's pretty much like the trombone. What really changes on the euphonium is the 2-1, and here the upper note stays the same, and it sounds to me like kind of like a fifth. Here. Is that an E flat? And so on. So that's one that you have on the euphonium that you don't have on the trombone. So that it does change quite a bit. I think on a conical instrument, I imagine a tuba or a horn would function more like this then, especially the lowest. So that's the split tones, and I encourage you composers to write more split tones now. Thanks.